If you're struggling to get pregnant and your lab work keeps coming back normal, it is an incredibly frustrating place to be. It's not like you want something to be glaringly wrong, but it's so nice to have some direction when you're navigating this path. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. If you're new here, my name is Whitney. I'm a fertility dietitian and coach, and I help busy women like you get out of the Google spiral and get pregnant. As a board-certified food and fertility nerd, I've helped hundreds of women figure out their fertility so they can grow the family of their dreams. And in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about 3 areas I wanna make sure you are looking at, especially if your labs are all coming back normal. As always, this video is meant for educational purposes only and not meant to be a replacement for medical advice. Now, before we dive into the steps, I wanna talk about some of the lab work issues I see with my clients. The first issue is that they don't order the right labs. If they do order labs, then they're ordering more of the basic stuff, like a CMP, CBC. Sometimes they'll order some sex hormones like estrogen, AMH, LH, FSH. But in my world, these are kind of basic lab works. They're kind of surface lab. A lot of what happens with your fertility has nothing to do with your sex hormones or your sex organs. And so if we're trying to get more of a systemic idea of how your health is in order to support your fertility, I like to dig a little bit deeper. If you want to know about the lab work that I suggest getting, definitely check out this earlier video that I did on the 3 lab tests I recommend for any couple trying to conceive. The second thing I see is that normal, quote unquote normal, does not always mean optimal for fertility. I've said it once and I'll say it again, fertility is a luxury function in your system. So if you have any issues going on in this area, it's going to affect the area down below the belt. When I'm looking at ranges for lab work, I'll admit it, I'm picky. I don't just want normal, or I don't just want it to be not bad. I want it to be great in order to give your body the best chance at safely devoting nutrients and energy into your fertility. Now, if you know that your clinic ordered the right labs and you're using the right ranges, then let's talk about what next steps might look like. So the first place I recommend looking is taking a look at the physical structure of the uterus, fallopian tubes, and ovaries, and making sure there's no barriers. So a couple different ways to check this. I know some clinics order an ultrasound, but to be really clear, to make sure those fallopian tubes are open, I recommend, and I'm gonna mess up the name, I apologize. I'm gonna spell it up here for you just because I know I'm gonna botch it. Hysterosalpingography. I always call it an HSG because for some reason those consonants really mess me up. Or a saline infusion sonogram, or an SIS. So HSG or SIS are 2 tests that you can ask your clinic for that check for to make sure your fallopian tubes are open and that you can actually get pregnant. I always think about my client Katie when I talk about this. When Katie hired me, she had already been through a lot of treatments. She had already done medicated cycles, she had already done IUIs, she already did 2 IVF cycles and was not successful with any of them. We worked hard. We dug into the lab work first, and after we got the labs figured out, we got her diet and lifestyle in order, we got her insulin under control, we got her ovulating regularly, getting fertile mucus with each cycle. It was like boom, 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 beautiful. 6 months later, though, she still was not pregnant. And so she headed to a new doctor to talk about next steps and interventions. And this doctor did an HSG right off the bat and found out that her fallopian tubes were blocked the entire time. So the medicated cycles that she had done, all of the natural cycles she had done, the IUIs she had done, all of it was going to be unsuccessful no matter what. And so this was an enormous, enormous blow. And so since working with her, because I didn't tell her to do that HSG right away, that's not my area of expertise, but I across the board tell all of my clients, we got to check the physical structure to make sure the path is clear in order for you to get pregnant to begin with, before moving forward with any medications or interventions in that direction, just to be on the safe side. Number 2, let's take a look at the strength of your ovulation. After you ovulate, you start producing something called progesterone. Progesterone is your progestation hormone. You need it to get pregnant, stay pregnant, but you also need a lot of it. So we got to make sure your progesterone levels are pumping. And I'm not just looking for baseline, I want a lot of it. In general, I like to see progesterone levels after ovulation, about 7 days after ovulation, to be at least 10 nanograms per milliliter, but I like 15 to 20 even better. If you want to know more details about progesterone, please check out this video I did in detail on how to check it, levels I want, and how to get more of it if you don't have a lot of it. And the third thing I recommend is getting a really clear picture of what's going on with the sperm quality that you're working with. Some doctors are really proactive about checking sperm health. Some are not, and they'll move forward with medicated cycles, IUIs, before looking at sperm health. But sperm health, to me, that's 50% of the equation. If we're looking to optimize your chances of conception, we have to look at that 50%. When you're checking sperm health, I recommend getting a morphology test, a motility test, or number test, and a DNA fragmentation test. This will give us a really clear picture of not only how many sperm are in the sample, but how they're moving, the shape, to make sure that you can get pregnant. If you want to dive deep into sperm health, check out this earlier video I did on sperm quality. If you're ready to lay the groundwork for your 2024 pregnancy, I definitely recommend checking out those videos I suggested. And if you want to dive even deeper, head to the links below and download my Fertile Kickstarter guide, where I am sharing my 5 keys to foundational fertility success this year. That's all we have for our video today. If you are a fellow food and fertility nerd, definitely comment below and hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.